right. Hi, it's Shauna again. We're going to go over some more questions. So tell me about your classroom management style. So for me personally, the most important part about a classroom management style is ensuring that you're building a positive and safe community in the classroom. I believe that one way that you can build a positive community in the classroom is by co-constructing classroom rules of students. I also believe that you have to build strong relationships with students and that you have to keep them engaged and motivated. Otherwise, that's when behavior problems are going to occur. The classroom management style that I like to use is proactive, and I believe that teachers need to be responsive to their individualized needs of students. I noticed that a lot of students, especially during my grade 5 and 6 placement, like I had a lot of students with autism, ADHD, and who required modifications, that a lot of the behavior problems stemmed because they weren't motivated, because the work was either too challenging or too easy. So you have to make sure that you're providing students with appropriate work that is tailored to their own individualized needs. I also believe that you need to use verbal and nonverbal cues in order to respond to students, which may include close proximity to students. Also, providing students with positive encouragement, modeling desirable behaviors, and coping skills to students are other ways that you can manage the classroom effectively. In terms of volume level, some techniques that I used personally during my grade 1 classroom placement was flickering the lights, ringing the bell if I heard that the noise was too loud, or providing reinforcements such as fake money to students who were behaving and listening to my directions. And this worked really, really well because students were motivated to behave and they also got something from it. So after they got the fake money, at the end of the month, they would get to buy something such as Teacher of the Day. And this is something that students really enjoyed. And ultimately, I believe that a proactive classroom management style versus a disciplinary style is more effective because you're capitalizing on student self-esteem as well as their interests. And ultimately, high expectations are really important because when you expect the best from your students, they're going to perform better. Other techniques I believe that are effective is differentiating the student's behavior from who they are, because students tend to internalize if you say something negative about them, not just to their behavior, but to themselves. And so you have to ensure that you're just talking about their behavior. And you also want to ensure that you're not embarrassing students, because low self-esteem is a reason why students sometimes act out. And you want to make sure that you're building that self-esteem. So you don't want to embarrass students for misbehaving in front of their peers. So you should always do it after class. So how would I implement technology in the classroom? So I would implement technology through interactive games. So during my grade 5 and 6 combined grade placement, I used Kahoot, which is really effective when I was teaching them mean, median, and mode. And this was a good review game, but I also believe that this could be a great diagnostic assessment and also formative, so you can see how students progress throughout the unit. Assistive technologies such as text-to-speech programs are really helpful for students who are nonverbal and might not be able to communicate as effectively. Computer reading games are also very effective. And when I was in my last student teacher placement, we learned during one of our conferences, we learned about ELL learners and the different reading stages that they go through. And they showed us a website that had like books that were in the student's home language as well as in English. And those kind of books I feel like would be really effective for ELL learners because it's auditory learning, which is awesome for reading because usually you just think about reading the visuals, but it's also auditory, which is once again targeting the multiple learning styles of your students. Also, iPads are great because they're lightweight and it's easier for students to move around. Computers, videos, and interactive whiteboards. So I know my teacher used the smartboard sometimes when she was teaching. I've also used the smartboard sometimes when I was teaching students about compound words. And I would also show videos to my students a lot as like my mind's on, so that I could get my students really engaged into the lessons. And I would even play these videos again because students like to dance around and sing to the lyrics and stuff. So that was really fun. I also believe that technology is really important to incorporate in the classroom because it gives a lot of opportunities for students for interactive learning opportunities.